sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beat, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tiger stripe the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who that, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Blue day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounds, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move closing on? Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange on bottle. Bingo bottle. Never stop it. To the beast of feasting on 'em. Who ain't rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite and
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Jackpot Joey Burrow and the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys have not had any of this delicious Jackpot Joey beer, you don't know what you're missing. It's got to crack this open, get the show started right here. It's not only delicious, but it's award-winning beer. I keep telling you this. Gold medal award-winning American Light Ale. Go check it out. It's at Jungle Gyms, Cork and Bottle, and all kinds of places. I think it's out in Harrison, Kroger, a lot of places around the West Side. If your place doesn't have it, go tell them you want some Jackpot Joey beer. And also, if you guys are ever interested in getting any of the Jackpot Joey merchandise, like the flags, the hats, the hoodies, anything, go to jackpotjoey9.com and you can purchase all that stuff there. And if it's not on the website and you see something that I'm wearing and you want it and you can't get on the website, go ahead and just DM Matty Myers and he will hook you up. And remember, portions of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund and the Joe Burrow Fund. So we are supporting both of them now. We're getting close to almost $2,000 donated. So as always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, do your favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm at the 1,978 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you guys. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube and you have yet to subscribe, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel, Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button. Hit the bell for the notification. Every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, doing super chats. If you guys want to support the show, give me a super chat. It is in the YouTube chat crew. And as always, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, people, we're getting close to 1 month left until sports betting is legal in this great state of Ohio. If you have not signed up yet, please do so. Sign up with betfredsports.com/Ohio/Bengals_boys2. Sign up there. That's my link. That's Bengals and Brews link. It'll give you a $20 free bet. Fred, I call it Bet Fred. Basically $20 for free to go place your first bet come January 1st. Also, from now until then, they're giving away Bengals tickets, Betfred merchandise, all kinds of cool stuff. I know Santori and the boys from Rally Around and Natty, they are with Betfred as well, too, and they got their own link, too. So go sign up with mine, go sign up with theirs. Just make sure you sign up. Try to get some free stuff. It's always worth it. I don't know about you. I like free stuff. I like a chance to win. Bengals. All right. This is Bengals film study. So, unfortunately, Satori was busy and doesn't actually have film, but we can discuss the plays and discuss what happened. So, film study without the film. Here's Satori. What's up, brother?
I ain't got shit.
You've been a busy man. He's been a busy man trying to make some money. So I understand. Yeah.
I worked bell to bell Monday, bell to bell Tuesday. I just got off work today, and it's my wife's birthday. So the fact that I'm even on here right now is probably pushing the edge.
Yeah. So Satori is out, hard out at 6 o'clock. So
yeah,
trust me, dude, I understand. This is Christmas. My busy time of year at UPS. I gotta be working at 1 a.m. from now until Christmas. My part-time job went from a part-time job to a full-time job. So doing this every day, along with all the other stuff I got going on, gets really hard. And if anybody remembers last year, I was talking to Anthony Kazinza, and I was so tired. I was trying to end the whole conversation with him, and I said, "I love you, man." I'm like, "I really just say that to Anthony Kazinza on the air?" I'm like, I'm tired. He's like, "Get some sleep." I'm like, "Yeah, I need to." So this time of year, I don't get a whole lot of sleep, so it's a busy time. All right, let's get into this. Bengals are on a heater. That's it's rolling around like it did last year. They're getting on a heater.
kind of.
I think it is. The keys to what has happened. We know offensive line. We know running games getting better. T. Higgins is balling out. What did you see in your somewhat film study that have changed? That they're doing better at. I'll put it that way.
I was going to say nothing's really changed, but what you're starting to see, and this got thrown around a lot early, the line's finally gelling.
Yes.
And they're not just gelling at a acceptable level. They're not gelling at an average level. They're gelling at a pretty damn good level. One of the things I always look at, and I put this out there, I go on like stat sprees on Mondays. So Joe Burrow right now, and I want to preface this with, I know he's like the third most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Take that away for a second. Just put it over here somewhere. Really, the thing you want to look at is how often he gets pressured per drop back, because that's the frequency of pressure. Mm-hmm. Total pressures and total sacks, that's a volume number. If you drop back more or you drop back less, whatever. If someone has 100% chance of hitting a home run, well, they went 1 for 1 and 1 at bat and hit a home run. That doesn't mean they're the greatest hitter of all time.
Right.
But if you've got volume or you've got frequency, those are things I look at. Since week 3, right? Because the first 2 weeks were an absolute disaster.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Since week 3, Joe Burrow's pressure rate, meaning what percentage of his dropbacks are pressured, whether that's a sack or someone just kind of gets in the neighborhood, is about 23%. I know that probably seems like an arbitrary number if you're not super familiar with that realm of how much pressure someone gets.
Right.
It's the least pressured quarterback in the AFC.
There you go.
The only quarterback that gets less pressure in the NFL right now is Tom Brady, and he's at 18%. And for reference, last year, Joe Burrow was at 37%. So his pressures dropped from 37% to 23%.
Now, does that count Sunday too? Because he only got sacked once on Sunday.
That counts Sunday.
Okay.
Yep. So if you want to look at it, it's a 14% drop on a 37% average. He's getting pressured literally like half the time,
right,
that he was last year, which is astronomically better. I didn't anticipate it being that high. I thought they would be average. I know a lot of people anticipated top 10, but they're playing like a top 10 unit right now. Burrow's just not getting hit. I mean, he's effectively, if you look since week 3, he's been sacked, I think, 20 times in 9 games. That would be like the least in the NFL over that span of time. And that includes the absolute disaster that was the Cleveland game.
Right.
So if you take the outliers out, they have one of the best pass blocking units in the NFL right now.
And to me,
it's crazy.
That's crazy. To me, the part that's gotten improved the most is our tackles, Jonah Williams and Lyle Collins, because I think up the middle, for the most part, we've been better. The tackles have been the bigger issue. Do you think
they've been consistent in the middle?
Right.
Haven't been great, but they've been consistent. And yeah, with the tackles, those were the glaring issues because especially in those games like Pittsburgh and Dallas early, they just couldn't stop a speed rush. La'el Collins, let's not forget, new system, no offseason, no preseason, bad back, bad hip, bad ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was a walking ER room
Right.
with no experience in this offense.
On the other side, you got Jonah Williams, who's trying to improve, and then I don't care what he says, had a dislocated kneecap. I mean, his kneecap spun around to the other side. So that takes a little while to get back to full strength.
The other thing with Jonah that I don't think people realize is he just turned 25 last week.
Right.
He's been in the league 4 or 5 years already. He's just now 25. He came in very, very young.
He's just now hitting his peak.
He's just now hitting the point where you're expecting the jump.
Right.
And they've got him secured for next year. Collins is secured for next year. Volson's been fine. I think the expectation versus reality with Volson is a lot better than we expected. Karras has been advertised and the cap has been as advertised. So you finally now have a system that's kind of finally getting it together on top of the fact that Burrow is now trusting his line and you're not necessarily seeing Burrow because he had some happy feet early on. He was a little trigger happy, which is understandable. He'll never admit it, but he was. But you're finally seeing an offensive line performing at the level and honestly quite further than what I expected them to perform at this point in the season.
Now let's talk about it here. Rick brought this up. This is everybody's favorite Bengal right now, which to my own horn, he was on my show back in the summertime before, a while ago. So toot for me. But yeah, he said, can't wait to see Karras says this Sunday as he's walking off the field after the beat down at Kansas City. Let's just talk about, I just want to break down Teddy Karras because I mean, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite players, not because he was on my show. That does help. And I kind of talked to him a lot, but I love that reaction of him coming off the field. It was an organic reaction. Yes.
Planned.
You're right. He didn't even know he was on camera.
And he doesn't necessarily have anything against Tennessee. It was because strictly of the last play.
Right.
Which I wish I had my film up because it was.
That's what I like.
There's a lot to digest on that last play. But between Ted Karras getting throat punched and Trent Taylor doing a backflip all in the same play, there was just a lot going on there.
Right.
And I mean, just the Zach Taylor interview where they were like, did you think they crossed the line or they played chippy? And he was like, ask Ted.
Ask Ted. That's awesome. I'm like, I love that dude. I mean, he was doing a weather report on Channel 12 this week. I mean, he's like everybody's favorite Bengal now.
So back at the brief period of time that I coached, we had a situation like that where we were kneeling, and we were actually on the losing end, and we were kneeling we were getting destroyed. It was just a bad day.
Like, we're done.
There was 15 seconds left. I think we were down 20, and we had just started with the program we were at. We weren't trying to get anybody hurt. It was a mismatch. It was week 1, and we were just trying to take a knee, and the opposing coach literally sent a linebacker who currently plays at the University of Cincinnati over the top of the line to take a shot on our quarterback when we were trying to kneel.
Nice.
And there are some people that say, oh, there's still time left when the whistle blows.
You're kneeling the ball. You're kneeling the ball.
Here's the deal. We're giving ourselves up in that scenario. You're waving a white flag in that scenario. The Bengals in their scenario essentially are saying, we're not going to try and embarrass you. We're just sitting down. There's no need for that. That's to me, that's the same as when George Pickens took his shot on Tyler Boyd at the end of the game.
The chances of them actually getting the ball on a kneel down. Yes. There's a 0.000% maybe they can get that. Yeah. I mean, you have to have a bad exchange or something, but I mean, it's just a dirty ass play. And let's say what it is.
Jeff, I'll say this. If it was a situation where we were handing off and it was a miracle at the Meadowlands thing, because that shit does happen, I understand it.
Right.
When was the last time you saw the Bengals fumble and kneel?
I can't remember.
It's never happened. To my knowledge, it has never happened. I don't know if I've ever seen it in the NFL level. I've seen it in high school with kids. So it's not even a 0.01% chance. It's borderline non-existent. And when you take low shots like that in a situation where nothing's going to happen,
Right.
all
Piss the
you're
other
doing
team
is
off.
putting other people at danger.
Mhm,
I mean, that
mhm.
is the thing. We do, as contrary to popular belief as it may be, coaches don't want to hurt other people.
Right.
We want to get in and out of there with no injuries. I used to hate when a kid on the other side of the field would get hurt. So when you've got someone taking a cheap shot in a situation where it's over, just go home.
Right.
It's like, dude, like what are you doing, man?
Exactly.
So
And that's how you get the reaction from Teddy K.
yeah, that's why it was so organic. Because
Yeah.
Ted Karras is, I mean, you had people diving low. You had someone punch him in the throat. He was getting beat up those last 2 snaps.
Yeah, and all they're trying to do is kneel it. That's it. Like
Right.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, we could have let Joe back and throw. We can do that
yeah,
next week.
dude. After they did that, I wanted to. Let's screw them. Let's go score a touchdown now.
Right.
Screw you guys, but they didn't. So let's talk about the emergence. I hate to say the emergence, but it is the emergence of P. Ryan here, and it is crazy talk. Some people have said, "Well, do you start P. Ryan over Mixon next week if Mixon's healthy?" And I 100% say no. I do think moving forward, giving him more touches isn't going to be bad because that could save both their legs going down the stretch. What's your thoughts?
And that's kind of what I was going to say is here's the deal. And everybody, I understand why they are disenchanted with Mixon. I mean, it hasn't been the greatest season, and he had a horrible start to the season outside the Carolina game. And I always say that stuff because they're outliers.
Right.
He didn't do shit. Call it what he'd say it. He was frustrated too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the other part of it is the line started to gel around the Carolina game. That's when things really started to come together. And Mixon looked good in the Pittsburgh. I know he left the game at 2.9 in the first quarter, whatever it was. It's too small of a sample size to count.
Right.
He looked good, and he was going to continue to look good. And then here comes P. Ryan, who's popping off. And then the next week, here comes P. Ryan, who's running well. And the next week, here comes P. Ryan, who's running well. Here's the deal. P. Ryan is benefiting from 2 things that Mixon has not necessarily had the whole year. A solid line and fresh legs.
Yeah.
Okay. P. Ryan has always been a solid running back. You don't put up 427 yards in one game in college football because you're a bad running back.
Right.
Okay. You don't lead Oklahoma on rushing yards, which is a running back factory, because you're a bad running back. You don't get drafted to the NFL because you're a bad running back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't consistently stay on a roster after a Super Bowl run who had multiple chances to upgrade because you're a bad running back.
Right.
Mixon is paid $12 million. They're not going to want to take him off the field too often. And I hate to say that, but there is a business and a financial side to this. With that being said, moving forward, it's nice to know that P. Ryan can pop off some of those good runs. We know he can take screens. He's done that every year. He's had a long screen touchdown every year for the last 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So people that have kind of followed him over the last 3 or 4 years have known that he's had this in him. But the other thing with running backs is that they're very much momentum-based players, which means that they need more and more opportunities to kind of get going. They're kind of like snowball or avalanche players. You can't just expect them to come off the bench cold and rumble. Some of these guys need to get going.
Right.
And where P. Ryan has had very, very limited action, week 12, and he's finally starting to get 10 to 15 carries a game, he's starting to get going. So he's fresh. He's starting to read his line, which is that get going thing, because quarterbacks and running backs have to be able to read their line.
Well,
Not just go out and block.
Right. That's another good point of why Mixon struggled, because the line struggled. You're saying he's got to read the line. He didn't know the line. He didn't know these guys, so.
Like we said, Joe Burrow had happy feet and he was trigger happy. Well, so was Joe Mixon. If you go back and watch the film, and I wish I had it up, Mixon was making jump cuts before there was anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to use the phrase seeing ghosts, but that's what was going on. He was trying to make moves on things that weren't necessarily there quite yet, to where P. Ryan just goes.
Right.
You're seeing a different style of running back that's also benefiting from being fresh and the line coming together. It would not surprise me if we get Mixon back, whether that's this week or next week, and he ends up, there's 6 games left. If 3 of those 6 games he has over 100 yards, it's kind of the same thing that happened last year. He wasn't great, and then the playoffs hit, and we were able to kind of start leaning on him a bit.
He didn't really start going off till last year till the Raiders game. Raiders game was the one that I remember him going off that they were determined to run the ball, and I remember yelling at the TV screen like, "Quit running the ball, because we're not going anywhere." And then second half, it started breaking our way, and Mixon went off. Now, one thing
it wouldn't surprise me if that stuff starts happening again, but I do want to see P. Ryan sprinkled in there a little more, just because, like you said, it's going to keep him fresh.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It's like you want to. And I agree with what you're saying. You got to keep whoever the horse is, whichever one's the number one running back, which is going to be Joe Mixon if he comes out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get touches to keep him going, keep the momentum going. But you got a guy that's running like P. Ryan. You can sprinkle him in there and keep both their legs fresh, which would be great. Which is somebody said in the comment here, which Jeremy here, he said kind of like what Dallas does, and I think that would be cool. But the thing is, I think Dallas, Zeke and Pollard are two different types of runners. I think and Piron are pretty much the same type.
Yeah, there's different types there with Zeke and Pollard. There's a little bit of that smash and dash kind of thing going on, thunder and lightning. Joe's 225, 230 on a heavy week. P. Ryan's 240. I don't think people realize that. He's a big running back.
Dude, his legs are freaking ginormous.
P. Ryan's a big dude. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but my God, 5'9", 5'10", 240.
Yeah, I'm taller than he is, but he's
built like the fucking bowling ball.
Right, exactly.
There's a reason why he breaks these arm tackles and his stiff arm's so strong. He's just a strong dude. He's a fucking ox out there. The issue with kind of that rotation is, and this is strictly what it's going to come down to, Joe Mixon is a complete liability in pass protection.
Right.
He is atrocious.
Let's give a shout out to Travion. And P. Ron on that. And if you had your film up, we could do this. Both those guys made awesome pass blocks in that game. That's one thing that both those guys bring that unfortunately Joe Mixon just doesn't.
Now the thing that I think is going to really open up the run game or make it look, and I say that, look more productive. And it was actually brought to my attention on Locked On Bengals. I was listening this morning. The Bengals went into their 4-minute offense, and a lot of times with 4 minutes, you try to kind of kill your own clock. So when you're thinking about killing your own clock, what's the perception? Well, we're going to run the ball, right? First down, the Bengals threw the ball, and they would get into 2nd and 3s and 2nd and 2s or 2nd and 4s, which is awesome because that's way ahead of the chains. And you can do that because I trust Joe Burrow to make easy completions to get 5 and 6 yards. Now, when you have a 3-yard run on 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, it looks and feels so much better. A lot of what's going on is not necessarily production because P. Ryan's yards per carry average is lower than Mixon's. Fun fact. Mixon actually is getting more yards on the ground.
Right.
A lot of this also, and this goes into scheming and that wonderful play calling thing everybody hates. When you put yourself into a position where a 3-yard run works, it feels better. You're not. What's the difference between 2nd and 2 in a 3-yard run and 1st and 10 in a 3-yard run? Well, the next play is 1st and 10 or the next play is 2nd and 7, and now you're worried about pass rush and, oh God, we're coming up on 3rd down.
Right.
You're not even thinking about it. You go, okay, move the chains, and you're happy about it. So a lot of what's going to happen is understanding when a 3-yard run works, when a 4-yard run works, when a 2-yard run is not the worst thing on the planet. And that comes down to how Zach's going to utilize these guys and what positions they're going to be put in. Ideally, if you're in 3rd down, you want it to be where my entire playbook's open. I can run whatever the hell I want.
Right.
Instead of 3rd and 5, everybody's in a wide 9. Everybody's going to come attack Joe. What's this say?
I'll put this rolls into Kansas City. Says Dennis Perry says, I believe I can't disagree with this. I believe Kansas City are going to pose a bigger threat than the Tennessee Titans do. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Kansas City is a better team, and I'm on here talking crap. We're going to blow them out. I don't think we're going to blow them out. I think we're going to win, but it is. I think they are a bigger threat, big plays and all that stuff compared to Tennessee.
First and foremost, and I'm not just saying this, I've been preaching it for the last couple years. Teams that rely on the run, who have a very mid-level quarterback and no receivers are hot garbage. I don't care what the record is. Tennessee beat the Colts twice. They beat Houston. They played 3 teams this year that can run up points and lost to all 3 of them. They're not good. They're feisty. They'll come out and punch you in the mouth. They're physical. They're not fucking good.
Right.
I mean, it was the most overrated playoff team I had seen in a long time last year.
They were a number 1 seed.
Yeah, going into this game, I didn't even give a shit because I knew
they were a number 1 seed.
I knew there was no way in hell we were going to lose this game.
The reason they were number 1 seed is because we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the reason they were number 1.
They benefit from having an okay team that plays an archaic offense in the worst division in football.
Their coach gets
handed 6 wins a year.
Their coach gets so much credit for being variable. And I heard this. I rewatched the game. It was on NFL Network last night. I watched a little bit before I had to go to sleep. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, Vrabel is such a great coach." I'm like, "Is he really?"
Vrabel will be a guy. Mark my words. Go ahead and clip this. Whatever you want to do. He will be fired in about 2.5 years. They won't be winning games. They won't have a chance with Malik Willis just because he's not the type of quarterback that's going to throw the ball downfield and let it rip. They're going to lose Derrick Henry. They're not going to be able to replace him. And that smash mouth, I'm better than you bully attitude gets old really fucking quick.
Yeah.
NFL players, they kind of like that. It's a change of pace. It fires them up for like 2 to 3 years, and then it gets old really damn fast. It's one of those guys you kind of want to fight for, and it's fun when you're winning. But I guarantee you there's a couple Lions players that think the Dan Campbell shtick's getting old quick.
Right, exactly.
Unless you have something that you can kind of lean on, which is a great run game or a great quarterback, people don't want to hear from your coach all the time, or we're going to keep fighting, we're going to keep grinding. Grinding for what? Losing?
Right.
At some point, they're going to lose Henry.
And I keep saying about
they're going to just go down the shitter. That's the only thing they have is a running back who can't go left or right.
I tweeted this out today about the Bengals, and I kind of hope, last year it was why not us. I kind of like it. They got to play us. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, you got to play Kansas City. Kansas City's got to come here and play us. You got to play us in our house, in the jungle, and you did it last year, and we beat you. And last year you had Tyreek Hill, and last year we had a crappy offensive line.
Okay.
Just saying.
Here's the deal. And this is from Kansas City's point of view, because I'm a realist, as Greg Luther loves to tell me. The Chiefs have to go into Cincinnati, who, as you said, are on a heater, with a revamped offensive line that doesn't allow pressure to Joe Burrow, who beat you twice last year. And now they're at home with that crowd behind them, coming off a big win, and they're getting their star receivers back. Kansas City ought to be like, they run through bad teams. They beat good teams, so they run through bad teams. I'm not saying they ought to be scared, because I just don't believe in teams being scared. I just don't think NFL teams get scared of each other. But I think they're a little apprehensive about it a little bit. I mean, they don't have the pass rush that they did. They don't have Tyrann Mathieu anymore. I mean, they're liable to give up 400 in the air to Joe. The Bengals are liable to give up 400 or 500 to Patrick. Don't get me wrong.
They could.
But neither one of these teams have a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, by no means do I think this is going to be an easy game. Now, real quick here, so I get you out of here so you don't get in trouble with your wife. You brought it up to me before the show here, and I wrote it down. Justin Reed.
Yeah.
What did I miss? You wanted to get my reaction on here.
One of the local reporters in Kansas City asked him in the locker room, you weren't here last year. You're here this year. What would you guys do differently, or what's going to happen differently, basically? He started along the lines of saying that number 88 or Tyler Higbee, or no, Tyler Boyd, or I don't know who it is. What's his name? And someone from the background goes, Higgins. He goes, oh, yeah, T. Higgins. He can't block. I'm going to lock him up. So they're talking shit about T.
Okay.
And even if he meant Hayden Hurst because he originally said 88, all right. Like,
did you see 88 blow up Bud Dupree last week?
At what point has talking shit about the Bengals worked?
And this version of the Bengals, none. It hasn't worked at all.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
bulletin board material, and you don't think all those guys have already seen it? It's already all over Twitter. I guarantee you it's been through the locker room. The guy didn't even know T's name.
get out of here.
He may have meant Tyler
some
Boyd.
bull
He
crap.
may have meant Hurst. We don't even know who the hell he was talking about. Right.
I don't think he was just talking out his ass.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, yeah, no problem. I'll lock him up. And we're like, I hope T gets one-on-one with a safety downfield. I really hope so.
Oh, dude. Oh, I have to go find that. I have to go see that. That's interesting.
It's not hard to find. It was like my entire timeline.
Yeah. Well, dude, like I said, I've been sleeping all day. I've been working at night and sleeping all day. When you are sleeping, I'm working.
Twitter and you'll find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have to check that out. All right, real quick, you gotta get out of here. Tell everybody about Rally and what you got going on there, because you guys got a show tomorrow, tonight. When is it?
It's tonight. I'm probably not going to be on it though. I haven't told him yet. But
oh.
Well, my wife changed dinner plans at the last second, so it's her birthday. I'm going to let her do it. Yeah. So I have a show, Rally Around the Natty. We at this point in the year, we typically just talk about the Reds or the Bengals, mind you. The Reds have not earned any of our attention, probably since where else are you going to go? Comment.
Yeah, pretty much.
We will talk about the Bearcats periodically. I will never mention Xavier at all.
Deion Sanders going to be the next Bearcat head coach?
I hope, man.
Is that a legit thing? I mean, I don't know. I would be shocked.
Here, but before I finish, I'll touch that after I finish my.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so we do shows Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. It's me, Bengal Dad at DAJ Merck, Greg Luther at Gregor9, and Cincy James at Cincy James 83. Like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays. One thing we're doing right now, and there are 5 hours and 58 minutes left.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You got a giveaway.
We are giving away a custom jersey from Cook Sporting Goods. Any $10 donation to any charity of your choice works great as an entry. We pay for this out of pocket. We just want people to give back to their community. We do the drawing tomorrow night, I think at 9. So I've got a couple people that have donated that said that just to not count their drawing or to give it to someone else if they win. And there's currently 97 entries, and I think 30 people have said don't count mine. Awesome. So there's a good chance you could win a jersey with a $10 donation. Man. Cook Sporting Goods does a great job. They used to make the Bengals official game day jerseys that they would wear on the field. I will go down there with you if you're not super comfortable with it, and we will order it together. You'll get everything custom you want. If you want a 1968 Bengals jersey from the original team with number 1 and it says Uno on the back, we can make that happen. Like it's in the budget. You'll be taken care of. Any $10 donation to any charity works. So yeah, you got 5 hours left, man. We've been doing this since April.
Yeah, go sign up. All right, real quick, your thoughts on Deion now. I'll let you get out of here.
College football is less coaching and more a sales position. It's recruiting.
Yeah.
You've got more than enough brain power on those teams to be able to win games with play calling. You've got to have the players. You got to have the talent. It's a Jimmy's and Joe's league in college football, not an X's and O's league. If there's one man on the planet that could sell me anything, it might be Deion Sanders.
Oh, that's true. Now, but
if prime time came into my living room and was trying to recruit my son, I'd be like, dude, like,
let's
go play the Prime.
Do you really think there's a chance Prime is going to come to Cincinnati? I don't know.
My guess is no.
I'm
just
me being a realist. I don't see it.
Someone's going to throw an extra 0 in front of him that Cincinnati can't grab, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly.
Anyway. But if we're going off of the logistics of would I actually take him, it would be yes. If he's interested, yes, because it's a sales job and he can sell.
I would definitely take him. Anyway, we'll find out here hopefully in a couple of weeks. Anyway, Santori, as always, I appreciate it. Next week, sell less cars and do some film studies so we can have some videos here. Okay.
Sorry about that.
You're good, bro. Hey, tell your wife happy birthday. All right.
Will do.
Who day, brother?
Who day?
All right, guys. So we got about a half hour left. It could be you and me. We can discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. We got the Chiefs game coming up here. And real quick, I want to do this actually. Because my boy Dale from Bengals and Brews, they are doing another raffle. So, like I said, go do the $10 to any. First of all, about Rally, do $10 to any charity you want, and I think they have to tag Rally and let them know. But make sure you get a custom Bengals jersey. The other thing we are going on here is the boys from Bengals and Brews, Dale Altman, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember the artist's name. He'll be on the show with us Thursday. I'm going to be on Bengals and Brews with him Thursday. We're raffling this custom painting off, and all the proceeds go to the Hayden Hurst Fund. So it's on my timeline. It's also on Bengals and Brews and on Dale Altman's timeline. So go check that out. It's a really cool painting, one of a kind. And like I said, all of it's going to the Hayden Hurst Foundation. We are doing a donation. Well, not we. I keep saying we. Betfred is doing a donation. I think I want to say about $2,000. I'm not exactly sure. Somewhere around there. Directed to the Hayden Hurst Foundation. This Sunday we'll be doing it at Bengal Bomb Squad around 2:00. Kathy Hurst is going to be there to collect the check. So make sure you guys head down to Bomb Squad and have a good time there. And you can meet Kathy Hurst. You can meet me, Bengals and Brews, the boys from Blind Tiger. They'll all be there. Tigers Talk will be there. There's Craig Luther will probably be there because he's everywhere. I don't know if since James showed up, maybe we got some Rally will be there. Anyway, a lot of the different podcasts will be there for this event. So make sure you guys show up. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and hope you guys win. Let's see here. All right, so this Sunday, this is a big game for the Bengals. Obviously, we're playing against Kansas City. We have a chance to beat them 3 times in a row. We have our offensive line gelling. We have our team gelling. We have Uno coming back. Sounds like Joe Mixon will be back. This will be the health, probably other than Cheeto being out. This will probably be the healthiest our team has been all year long going into a game. Because remember, beginning of the year, Joe Burrow was out with not out, but recovering from the appendectomy surgery. We haven't been a healthy team all year. And that's one thing. Last year, we had great health. And last year, a lot of the balls bounced our way. Let's just talk about Cam Taylor-Britt knocking the ball out of quote-unquote King Henry, who's king of nothing, arms, and it bounces the end zone right into the end zone for a touchdown. Those things weren't happening last year. We're still winning. Kansas City has to come here. I don't think Kansas City, they're not as talented as they were last year. Me and my son were talking about this last night. He's like, I'm worried. He goes, I'm worried because, Tannehill got a lot of big shots on us last week. I said, all right. I said, that's because they were 2 different teams. Tennessee was a run-heavy first team. So Lou was stacking the box, putting DJ up there and going after Henry. That's what they tried. They wanted him to throw the ball. They were daring him to throw the ball. It's going to be the exact opposite this weekend. I think Lou's going to drop everybody back and rush like 4 and keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket like we did the last 2 times. Make them be patient. They don't want to be patient. They want a big shot. And I know they say they changed and, Patrick Mahomes, I've learned from this and blah, blah. I don't think anybody's played them like the Bengals have. The last 2 times the Bengals have quote unquote figured it out, have the formula to stop Kansas City. Will it work again? I don't know. Maybe Kansas City and Andy Reid have figured something out, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to drop everybody back and make Patrick Mahomes stay in the pocket and be patient. And Patrick is not patient. He has not proven any time in his NFL career that he is patient. When he gets frustrated, he starts forcing the ball into places that he shouldn't throw it to. That's what happened last year. That's what happens in most games he loses. They make him be patient. If the Bengals can do that, we can win this game. Now, I'm not saying we're not ain't gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a tight game, just like last weekend. But I do think the Bengals will come out on top. Now, one thing that does worry me, not having Cheetah Bay is a big loss. He's your number 1 corner. But I do like how Cam Taylor Britt has stepped up. He's a rookie. Yes, he's made mistakes. He's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. I think Eli Apple is stepping up, playing good. Jesse Bates is starting to play good. Von Bell has been playing good all year. Our secondary is making plays. Our secondary, unfortunately, isn't as good as it was last year because we don't have Cheeto. That's just a fact. We're not going to have Cheeto the rest of the year. That's why this is a big game for Cam. Cam needs to step up and really improve. Another big factor. Everybody's like, all right, what are you going to do about Travis Kelce? Well, we got this guy named Trey Flowers who follows him around. Did it last year. Shut him down. We got another guy who they could possibly use. I know he's a rookie, but Dax Hill, another guy who's big enough, fast enough to follow Travis Kelce. You shut Travis Kelce down, and you keep Patrick Mahomes in the box and make him be patient, there's your keys to winning the game. I think the Bengals can do that. All right. Let's see here. Let's get to Kieran. I put Kieran's up here. The only thing Mahomes changes is his diapers because he has a new son. So yes. Here you go. Stranger. Burrow has the opportunity to become the only QB to beat Mahomes 3 times in a row. Exactly. There's a very good chance they can do it. And like I said, I think they have the formula to do it. My boy Pork Chop, Chris, you can't go into a fight angry, and the Chiefs are butthurt from the last 2 ass whoopings. They want to prove something. And me and Dale talked about this last year. People are like, oh, you don't think the Chiefs have this date circled? Oh, you don't think they've been waiting all year for this? No, I do. I think they've been waiting all year for this. I think they got it circled. I think they've put a lot of effort into this. I think the Tennessee Titans did the exact same thing. And look what happened. On paper, if you take talent versus talent, the Bengals versus the Chiefs, talent-wise, the Bengals are the better team now. Kansas City doesn't have Tyreek Hill. They don't. They got good wide receivers. Juju. They have okay wide receivers. Not great ones. We got 2 great ones and another really good one in Tyler Boyd. And I don't care what anybody says. Hayden Hurst is just as good of a tight end as Travis Kelce. And I love Travis Kelce. I'm a Bearcat. That's my dude. But I will not be rooting for him this Sunday. We have so many weapons on this team and so much stuff is happening. And if you guys watch the show, I told you getting DJ Reader back is huge. He is the key to this defense. Because if you watch the film, if Centauri could have brought me some film study, I'll keep giving crap about that. DJ Reader takes 2 guys and pushes them back 95% of the time. DJ doesn't go backwards. He goes forward. He's taking 2 guys out of the play. That leaves the H-boys room to come around. That leaves Mike Hilton time to shoot the gap. Logan Wilson to shoot the gap. Joseph Osai, all this stuff that happened. Now, we were shooting the gap this weekend to go get Derrick Henry. Where are we shooting the gap this weekend to go get Patrick Mahomes? You put him under pressure, and they can do that with still dropping people back. It's going to be very, very interesting. You're right, Ken. Reader is the man. All right, let's get to Greg here. KC will try to run it more. Andy's not stupid, but making them run it could be a good thing. Dude, run it. I pray. Go ahead. I please, KC, run the ball. Go for it. We just stopped King Henry. Run it. If they think they can beat us running the ball, cool, because that's our strength because we have DJ Reader back. Our weakness is our secondary because we don't have Cheeto. If they're thinking running the ball, please run the ball. I'm begging you, run the ball. Yes, Juice is coming on strong. Juice is Cam Taylor Britt. He brings the juice, which, by the way, I kind of tweeted this out earlier today. I talked about yesterday that I was able to actually meet Cam Taylor Britt's mom and dad, Courtney and his name's Darren. I think is how you say his name. I hope I didn't mess that up. But they are going to be on the show. I'm going to do a special show Saturday at 3:00. And there's a chance that Cam will be on with them too because they'll be here in Cincinnati. So make sure you tune in Saturday at 3:00 because I will have the Brits on. They will be on. Maybe Cam, which would be really cool because they're like my third Bengal player and a coach. Because I had Deontay Smith, I had Ted Karras, and Darren Simmons. So this will be actually my fourth player coach on the show if I can get Cam on. Now, Mike Hilton, still waiting on you, buddy. You told me a while ago. Hayden Hurst, I'd love to get you on. All these guys. Anyway, that would be awesome. I hope I can get it. I hope it works out. But make sure you guys stay tuned. Saturday, Cam Taylor Britt will be on. Bearcat football. Let's talk about this a little bit. We'll talk about it a little bit with Centauri. I found out that Luke was leaving Sunday during the Titans game. Some Bengals fans walked up like, "Hey, Ice, have you heard that Luke's leaving?" I said, "Fickle?" They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Really?" I said, "Where's he going?" They're like, "Wisconsin." And I'm like, "We're in the middle of the game." I'm like, "All right, I don't even want to think about that. We're in the middle of the Bengals game." I was surprised that he's leaving now, the year before we go to the Big 12. And I've read some stuff that you go to the Big 12 or you go to the Big 10 and you're in the West, he can win it every year. He can play in the Big 10 championship because West and Big 10 is extremely weak. You got a chance to play the Big 10 championship. You got a chance to go to the Rose Bowl. You got a chance to win national championships. You have that same chance going to the Big 12 if you can recruit and get stuff. Now, that's where I'm like, I'm not totally sure I believe that. Now, somebody else told me that was the NIL stuff, name, image, likeness, that the Bearcats weren't getting them as easily, I guess, as other teams, and that's why Luke was having a harder time getting people to recruit to come here. Either way, it's rumors. One thing that did hurt when Luke said this is a destination spot, that did hurt. Because I think UC is a destination spot. I will always thank Luke. I'm like, look, I don't hate Brian Kelly either. They got our programs to the highest places it has ever been. I hope to God, whoever the next coach is, will get them back there. I'm just worried, and it irritates me because when the Bearcats, we had Bob Huggins as our head basketball coach. The year before, the summer, we're going into the Big East. They fire him, and we stink in the Big East till like the last year. Mick Cronin finally got it to where we're good. We made it to the Big East championship game. We lost, I think, to Louisville. It just took forever. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it just sucks. I want to keep the momentum we had and what we had rolling into the Big 12. Hopefully, whoever they get is going to be a really good coach. I don't know. Hey, if it's Deion Sanders, that's cool. If it's Urban Meyer, that's cool. Those are two big names I've heard. I've heard Todd Herman as well, former Houston coach and former Texas coach. So I don't know. We'll see that. Whoever they get, I hope they stay here. And I know Kerry Combs is the interim head coach right now, and some people might be like, "Oh, let's get him because he's a Cincinnati guy and he'll stay." Like, that's not always a good thing because we had a guy in Tommy Tuberville who was going to be here and he was going to stay. Now, I love Kerry Combs. He got a shot to be the defense coordinator at Ohio State last year, and their defense stunk. He got fired. That's where I'm like, I'm not sure you go from that and you roll into the head coach at the University of Cincinnati in an extremely crucial year. This is setting the tone going forward of what UC is going to produce and be in the Big 12. Cunningham can't get this wrong. He's got to get the right guy in. I don't care who it is. I just want the right guy in there to take care of this program that I love. That like I said, you guys watch. I was there at Nippert when nobody went. Tim Murphy was the coach then. You could literally walk into the game. There might have been 500 people in the game. I was in high school then. Actually, freshman in college too. It's not going to go back to that. But to get to the heights that we have been in the last 2 years is unbelievable. And as a Bearcat fan, I never thought the football team would ever get there. I thought the basketball team could. I still think the basketball team can. That's why this is a very, very crucial higher. Sure, you know, I don't think you have to worry about Urban. I just said Urban. It's like two of the big names that I've heard. You know. But anyway, it's just a bit. It's just I can't emphasize it enough. Because once you get you're going into the conference, like we went to the Big East, like the football team established, they're good. And we've had success in the Big East. The basketball team established, they weren't good. And it took us forever to get recruits and get people in here to play. You got to establish your roots in the Big 12 as soon as you get in there, both programs. That's where this coaching hire has got to be huge. So anyway, hopefully we'll find out here really, really soon. Thursday, I don't have a guest yet. Might just be me and Dale. I'll reach out to a couple of different people. We'll see what happens. I have to make sure you guys join me Saturday. So let's get to the Facebook groups. That let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. They are Who Dey Nation, Who Dey Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar, and then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trinipole. TikTok is at Iceman90. I know I said I was going to put on the podcast yesterday, and I forgot. Hopefully when I get off the air here, I'll remember to do it so you guys can listen to it later on if you want to hear anything Santori said or anything that I had to say. Now, if you guys saw the beginning of the show, I had a new intro. That is a shout out to my buddy, Dale Altman from Bengals and Brews. He put that together for me, and it was awesome. I got home from work, went home, took a shower, went to bed, and I always wake up, look at my phone. Dale text me, what's this? Oh, that's cool. Video. Huh? And I played it. I'm like, and I like literally started tearing up because I'm like, he's got all I take care of this. And he's got David Fulcher and Dave Lapham and Darren Simmons and all these different Bengals that I've had on the show. And he put it together so perfectly with the Bedford sports stuff, the Jackpot Joey stuff, my logo at the end of it. I was like, how long did it take you to do? Because he had to go back and find, like, the Dave Lapham one was, I mean, Dave's been on 3 times. The one he found with me and Jeremy on here, and that was 3 years ago. Something like that. So shout out to my buddy Dale. I really appreciate the video, the intro. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to play it here at the end. You guys can check it out. But shout out to him. And go subscribe to Bengals and Brews. Go subscribe to Rally Round and Natty. Go subscribe to Blind Tiger, Tiger Stock, all these other cool Bengals podcast. And go subscribe to Bengal Jim too. I mean, I don't think he needs a whole lot of help. He's got a lot of subscribers already. So Bengal Jim's killing right now. YouTubers, I'm at 1,978 subscribers. Again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Try to get to 2,000. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Sports with Strawberry Ice. Other than that, people, I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, might just be me and Dale. Maybe John Sheeran. Maybe AC. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to get the Godfather on. Let's see what the power of Strawberry Ice has. Got to find somebody. Other than that, that's just sports, baby. See ya!
In the night, stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers stripe the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who they, time to put your hands up. Bengal stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounds, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. stripes, flossing on the rim.